pray without ceasing. That's what the Bible says, right? So what does that even mean? It could mean this kind of contemplative life is a prayer lifestyle, right? I've heard that one before. It could mean that you go to God throughout your day. What it meant for me recently, what it sometimes means, is literally repetitive, nonstop, voracious prayer in my head over and over again, like begging God, help me with this thing, help me with this thing. Does that sound fun? Is that something I want to be doing all day, every day, forever? But let me tell you why this is amazing. I did this yesterday, all day long. It's like constant, walking around, doing my job, eating my breakfast, going to the bathroom, just repetitively like begging God to help me with this thing. Because here's why that's so powerful and amazing. This is something that I was in denial about. Not a relationship, not a situation. I'm not going to get into what it is right now. But this was something I was in denial about. I didn't even know it was a problem. I was fooling myself. I was believing lies about this thing. It was grace that I even knew I needed to pray about it. Like just that in of itself. To know that I needed to pray about it. To know that prayer was an option. To know that prayer is even worth doing. All of that major miraculous grace. I did not grow up in a relationship with God. Nobody told me about that. Nobody told me to pray. I'm grateful that my daughter knows that she can pray. She can ask God for help. That's a practical, effective thing for her to do when she's got a situation. She comes to me. She tells me everything. We have a great relationship. She tells me everything. But she can also go to God. She can ask him for help. It's out of the mouths of babes. One time she said to God, she was in the back seat in a grumpy mood. She said, God, I feel so angry. I'd rather feel sad than angry. Can you help me with this? What an amazing prayer. About 20 minutes later, I asked her, like, how are you feeling? She said, I feel really happy. I'm like, did God answer your prayer? She's like, he more than answered my prayer. The fact that this is effective and that this is an option. The other thing that was miraculous grace was for me to know that there was anything wrong here. To suddenly no longer believe the lie that this thing is okay, just in and of itself, like huge. So for me yesterday, pray without ceasing meant to literally pray constantly and ask for help, just desperate help. And the way that I prayed was, I said, God, I don't really think I can do this thing. I just can't. And I don't even think that I can think rightly about it. Right now I'm thinking rightly about it, but I don't think I can maintain this right thinking. So if you want me to be able to do that, like you're going to have to miraculously set my thinking right and keep it there, because I can't do that. I can feel clear now, but tomorrow I might not. So I need you to do that for me. I asked, very specifically. And then I just kept repeating different things. I kept asking for help with this thing. So by the end of the day, what happened was my beautiful daughter, I feel like I'm gonna cry. My beautiful daughter, this is really vulnerable to share with you. My beautiful daughter told me that she had a dream about demons walking in her sneakers, that her sneakers were walking without anyone in them, demons. She said she's always felt like her dad had demons. Not to trigger warning if this creeps you out. She said she's always felt like her dad has demons, right? And that's why he doesn't live with us. That's why I have full custody. She said, but never mom. You're my, she basically said, you're my safe parent. You're my godly mom, right? She said, but you had them too. And I thought I was getting mad. I was getting defensive. She was so firm. She's only 7. She was so firm with me. She said, it was dad and mom. She said, you both had demons. And I had no one. She actually said we were both evil. That scared me and put me off, but I immediately was convicted of this particular thing that needed to be dealt with, eradicated from my life. I just it was hard, but I humbly confessed to her the thing. I said, do you think maybe it's this thing? And she's like, that's going on? My 7-year-old. She goes, it's that thing. And then she goes, I feel better. We were on the same page. I told her today that she has a spiritual gift. She has the spiritual gift of hospitality for sure. She loves to throw parties and she's such a great host. But I said, you have another spiritual gift. It's called discernment of spirits. And I have it too. And that's how I knew you were right. I'm not evil. I'm not possessed. But there's a door that I had opened to something not good in my own life by some choice, by choosing to allow something into my life that didn't belong here. And I was able to say, this door needs to be shut. And that was at the end of this day of praying without ceasing. Out of the mouths of babes, my beautiful little daughter told me this thing. So prayer works, ladies and gentlemen. It's powerful. Nobody told me it works. If you don't believe it works, just try it. Waste a little time. Waste your breath. Try it. That's how I started. My first prayer was random because I didn't believe in God. My first ever prayer was totally random, didn't believe in God, but it was like fierce. It was like, if there is a God, please help me, I'm going to die. That was 25 years ago. I was not into some good stuff. He answered that prayer. He completely removed something miraculously, instantly, overnight from my life that I was doing that was killing me. And I remember it took me a week of shell shock before I knew that was legit. And I was like, maybe there is a God. I didn't believe in God. I grew up in a somewhat affluent, very intelligent household full of doctors and scientists and professors who do not believe in God. But I said, please, if there is a God, please help me. I'm going to die. And he did. I still didn't believe. I was like, maybe there's a God. So I'd pray probably like every 6 months or several years before it got to be more substantial. Another story for another day. But I wanted to share that. Pray without ceasing. That is legit. It can mean different things at different times. But for me yesterday, it was powerful. And it was just one day. And I feel like so much better today. So much more connected to my daughter. So ready to launch into this beautiful spring day. It's gorgeous weather. And be free because of the power of prayer. Pray without ceasing. It works. Empirically, scientifically, it works. Follow me if you're not totally freaked out, because I know a lot of my followers aren't necessarily Christians, but follow me anyway if you like my other content. Don't discriminate. Don't hate. Accept me as I accept you.